Hello there! Are you ready for a really beautiful story? It's all about a very special friendship, and it's called The Caring Cat and the Lonely Sparrow. Okay, so our story starts, you guessed it, once upon a time in this lovely little village. Just try to picture it. A really charming, cozy place, with cobblestone streets that twist and turn between these old-fashioned houses. And it's right here, in this super peaceful village, that we're about to meet our hero. So, who is our hero? Well, it's a very special cat, and her name is Cleo. But what was it exactly that made her so special? Let's find out. Because, you see, Cleo wasn't just any old cat. I mean, sure, her bright orange fur was beautiful and her green eyes really sparkled, but that's not what made her stand out. Nope. It was something much, much deeper. Something she carried right inside her heart. Cleo's heart was just overflowing with kindness. She was the kind of cat who loved to play with the village kids, chasing yarn around. She'd curl up on the laps of the older folks to keep them company, and she had this special way of making other animals feel better when they were sad or scared. She was just full of compassion. And it was that big, kind heart of hers that was about to lead her to a new friend, someone who really needed one. So let's meet this new friend. The lonely sparrow. So, one sunny morning, Cleo was just taking a little walk through the park when she saw something. It was a tiny little sparrow sitting all by itself on a bench. Its feathers were all messy and ruffled, and it just looked so sad. Well, since Cleo was such a kind cat, she walked over very gently and asked what was wrong. And with this tiny, sad little voice, the sparrow told her, I lost my flock in a storm yesterday. Now I'm all alone, and I don't know where to go. Oh, can you just imagine how lost and scared that little bird must have felt? When Cleo heard this, her heart just ached for the little bird. She didn't just feel sorry for the sparrow, she actually felt its loneliness, almost like it was her own feeling. And you know what? That feeling, that really deep understanding, that's called empathy. So what is empathy, really? Well, it's being able to understand and even share what someone else is feeling. It's kind of like you're putting yourself in their shoes, or in this case, their wings, and feeling what they feel. And trust me, as we're about to see, it's a really, really powerful thing. And because Cleo was just filled with all that empathy, she didn't even think twice. She knew right away that she had to help. And that one moment, it was the start of something truly beautiful, an unbreakable bond. So with the gentlest voice you can imagine, Cleo looked at the sparrow and said, "Don't worry, dear sparrow, you're not alone anymore. You can stay with me until you find your family again." Wow! Those simple words must have meant the whole world to that little bird. And Cleo didn't just say kind things, she did kind things. First, she brought the sparrow home to her cozy little cottage. Then she made it a comfy, soft nest. She shared her own food and water. And she even introduced the little bird to all of her other friends. And as the days turned into weeks, this amazing friendship just started to grow. They became the best of friends, totally inseparable. They'd spend their afternoons just sharing stories and laughing, chirping and purring, and just enjoying being together. Cleo's kindness was like a little pebble dropped in a pond. It created ripples. Her compassion didn't just help the sparrow. Nope. It actually inspired everyone in the whole village to be a little bit kinder and to look out for each other. It just goes to show you, one small act of kindness can really change everything. So their friendship brought so much happiness. But guess what? The story wasn't over. It was about to take another happy turn. It was time for a joyful reunion. Okay, so picture this. One evening, the sun is setting,
painting the sky all orange and pink. And suddenly this sound drifts through the window. It wasn't a sad sound. It was a happy one. It was joyful chirping. What could that be? Cleo and the sparrow hurried outside to see what was going on.
And you won't believe what they saw. It was the sparrow's family. The whole flock had come back to the village. Oh, the little sparrow's heart was just bursting with happiness. It wasn't lost anymore. But before it flew off to join its family, the sparrow turned to Cleo one last time. It looked right at her and chirped, "Thank you, Cleo. Thank you for giving me a home, but thank you even more for teaching me what empathy and compassion really mean." So the little sparrow flew away with its flock. But you know what? This story of their friendship, that stayed behind, and it left a huge impression on everyone in the village. This was the village's lesson. Because everyone was so inspired by what Cleo did, the whole village really started to change. People just became more compassionate. They were more understanding with each other, and they ended up building this wonderful, harmonious community where every single person and every animal felt like they mattered. They felt valued and cared for. What Cleo did taught everyone such a beautiful lesson, and it's really a message for all of us, isn't it? Empathy and compassion, they're like sunshine. They have the power to warm up everyone's heart. And that really brings us to the main point, the moral of this whole story, is that true happiness, it isn't found in the things we have, it's found in understanding and caring for other people. So, now I have a little question for you to think about. Have you ever been kind to someone, just like Cleo was to the sparrow? Can you think of a time when you helped someone who was feeling sad or maybe a little bit lonely? And that brings us to one last thought to take with you. As you go about your day today, just keep this question in your mind. How will you show compassion today? Remember, it doesn't have to be some big, huge thing. Even the smallest act of kindness can make a world of difference.